Welcome back to Cypress Sports Weekly. I'm Jeff Russell here with Mark Slevcove. Coach, today we got some good news to start the week with the Orange County Registered Girl Athlete of the Week, our very own Haley Havokin.
That's right. Haley, Athlete of the Week for girls soccer. She's had a great career at Cypress, and certainly she showed that last week and got some recognition. You know, she's been a league MVP, and then last week, super focused, and all of our team was against Pacifica in that makeup game. We blow them out 6-1. Haley scores 4 goals. She backed that up with 2 goals in another game last week. So she's got 14 on the year, and actually make that 16 with 2 more yesterday in our victory. So congratulations to Haley. It's a great honor for the Register to recognize her, and anytime we get an athlete as the Athlete of the Week, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was super awesome. Super proud of her and the team. They are starting to play really well. We'll get into a little bit more of that as we go. I know there's a lot of other news to go over with winter sports. Another big accomplishment went out to Justin Singer as well.
That's right. Justin Singer, our long distance runner, had a great cross country season, and he's continued on running club, and he was recognized on a website, Mile Split, California, as the Boys Performer of the Week. He ran a 1,500 meter in 4:05, which is the fastest time of that event among qualifying events in meets so far this year. That equates to a 4:23 mile time. So he's doing great. He's continuing to train and expect big things from him come track season.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, when I see people running that fast, it's amazing to me. I don't see how they can move that quickly. You did a great job. So great stuff for sure. Today we'll get more info on soccer from our head coach, Nicole Woiemberghe. She's also going to bring along players Chloe Miller and Aniyah League will be here. So what else is going on with sports?
All right. Well, we're coming down to the wire here. A couple weeks left in league. Boys basketball, they've lost 2 in a row now. We're going to have to work to get into the playoffs. Heartbreaker last Friday night at Tustin, we lost 57-55. We do get a chance at revenge against them this Thursday in the makeup game. So we're sitting in 3rd place. We can make up a game against Tustin, who's in 2nd place this Thursday. Tuesday night, the boys had a tough matchup with Crean Lutheran, number 2 team in the county for a reason, and they showed it. So Crean's well ahead, sitting good in league in 1st place, and I expect them to go pretty far in CIF in the open division as well. Girls basketball, another close loss. We got 2 losses in league. Both of them are to Crean Lutheran. When we played at Crean, we lost by 4. Last night, we lose a heartbreaker by 2, 67-65 to Crean Lutheran. Total of 6 points, 2 losses in league. The girls are playing well. Hopefully they can finish it up in the last 3 league games and secure a 2nd place and win a few ball games in CIF. Boys soccer, last Friday, completed the sweep against Tustin with a 2-1 victory, but we couldn't back that up yesterday against Crean Lutheran, and that one hurts a bit. We beat Crean the first time 8-1, and then Crean comes back and beats us yesterday 2-1. So our boys are in 3rd place. We have a fairly good lead in points for 3rd place, but we still have some tough games coming up to finish the league season. So hopefully they can take care of business and make it to CIF. Girls soccer, on their other hand, they're firing offensively. So much during the course of the year, we were winning 1-0 games, very difficult to score. And now the last 3 league games, our girls have put up 6 goals, including the 6-1 victory against rival Pacifica last week. Firm 1st place lead, take on Pacifica again this Friday in the 2nd round. I'm sure the Mariners will be fired up playing at Pacifica, trying to make up for last week's game. Water polo, our girls playing great, 2-0 in league, 2 games left in league. Last week they beat Pacifica 10-0. We certainly look like the league favorites here. Kennedy coming up this week. We finish up the next 2 games. Girls are going to be league champions for the 3rd year in a row. So that's pretty exciting for our program and for the seniors. So hopefully we can do that. And then wrestling, great news from wrestling. Last night, we finished up the dual meet season in league. The boys walloped Valencia 66-15 to claim a three-peat for league titles, 2020, 2021, 2022, 3 in a row. They'll go on to CIF team duels this Saturday out in South Torrance before coming back to league finals to qualify individuals for CIF. And the girls, back-to-back league champs, beat Valencia in a close one, 42-36 last night. So congratulations to Coach Lundberg, Coach Norris, and all the wrestlers in our program. Quite an accomplishment the last few years.
Yeah, no doubt. It's super awesome. They're doing great things. Again, our girls program constantly growing, constantly getting better, and everybody's starting to get ready for the playoffs, right? The playoffs are right around the corner, for some earlier than others. Remember to keep in mind that for those gated sports, those ones that you have to pay to get in, the ticketed ones, CIF will be going to GoFan. So plan ahead, because we do have limitations on the number of people that are allowed inside for indoor events. So plan ahead, get those tickets early, and hopefully we'll see you guys out there. All right, well, today we welcome our head girls soccer coach, Nicole Woiemberghe, and players Chloe Miller and Aniyah League to the program. Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Way to go, Coach. Coach Nicole, always very long-winded with your statements. We'll go into it. Coach, as an alumni of Cypress, former player who I hear, maybe has the most goals scored in history, or at least did. Maybe we stopped counting goals nowadays. You're also now one of our longest tenured coaches. You've been here 14 years. So how cool has it been over the last 14 years being the head coach of a place you went to?
It's been awesome. I mean, once this job opened, I always loved being here. And when I played here, I played for 3 different coaches. So I always thought, okay, I want to come back and bring some structure, a coach that's going to be here a long time. Honestly, I never thought I'd be here this long, but I love it. And it's amazing to see. It started off, a little bit tricky, but I think we're in stride. And I just love being here, especially since I played here. Played on the same field, even had some of the same teachers as the players. It's really cool to be back where I played. It's awesome.
You certainly given our athletes that consistency that you longed for when you were playing, and you've had a ton of success now over the course of your career here. Playoffs every season, 6 league championships, hopefully a 7th one coming this year, CIF finalists, 2 semifinal appearances. What do you attribute all that success to?
Honestly, the players, I ask a lot of them, and now that they're in their routine and dedication and committed, they wanted it. They love the structure. And since I think I provided that, they show up, they're ready to play. They believe in themselves. I believe in them. We have a great, with Chrissy being here, we've both been here for a long time. We just bring that structure that they love, and they work hard. And once you have people and players that work hard and know the system, it's very easy to coach.
Yeah, you and Chrissy have done a great job really establishing that system and that discipline. Your teams are very well disciplined on the field, rarely get, yellow and red cards for things that aren't, game related, obviously. And red cards, very seldom does that happen. Has this discipline carried over to coaching from when you were a player? I mean, did you ever get any cards?
Honestly, I did not get a card, though I got 1 card in high school. At the time, El Dorado was our rival. And I was just frustrated, and out of nowhere, I just pushed the defender down. And it was like, well, where did that come from? And I've always high school is physical, and that's honestly the only yellow card that I received as a player. But they know once in high school, you get a yellow card, you come off. And when the game is physical, it's hard to get you back on if you're playing on a yellow. So the girls know that. And I think it just helps them mentally too, prepare themselves that they are aggressive. But they know yellow, it's very cautious on our team too, even just to be back on the field for us.
I did kind of get some inside info on the 2-hand shove of that girl from El Dorado. And the best part I hear was that you knew it was coming. So you just turned around and just beeline to you're like, I'm out. I know it's coming. So
yep, that's exactly what happened. I pushed her down in the corner of the field, and then I just walked off the sideline. I knew it was a yellow card. I don't even think I saw the ref give it to me. I just walked off.
That's a pretty good sign of a good coach, though, if you can do that as a player, but your coaches would never do that, or your players would never do that when you're the coach. And we showed that last week against Pacifica, right? Our focus and our discipline showed with the big victory. We just came out like gangbusters and really put it to them. They're our biggest rivalry of late. They've won the last couple league championships. What makes those games so heated?
One is that a lot of the players know each other, and it's a lot of players that play at a high level. And then we're strong teams, not just for our league, but for NCIF. So we just know that every game we play against each other, if it's at Cypress or if it's at Pacifica, it's just everybody's going to bring their best game that day. And they're always a good team. They're always ready for us. It's just each time we play Pacifica, it's a battle. And it's always been that way ever since I got here. You know, Pacifica wasn't our league when I played here, but when I got here in 2009, Pacifica was very good. And since that first season, they've always been like our biggest competition.
Yeah, we've had great games with them for sure. And we've had a lot of great players here at Cypress, and a lot of them have moved on to play in college. So what's the one thing you feel like all those players who have moved on to play to college, what's the one thing that they all kind of have in common that's made them so good?
Their work rate. I never had to ask them to work hard. They're always at the front of fitness. They're always at practice. Like, no one thought they were better than the program. And I always get the players that come back and say, oh, the high school structure is way more similar than club. So these players that played at big schools, they deserve it, because I never had to question their work ethic. They always came ready to play, and they never thought they were better than this program. And they just worked, and then they made every single person in our program that they played with better. And then their lasting impression has left like the players they played with, and it's kind of trickled down, and it's still like around. You can see like players that maybe played 10 years ago here, it's still like ingrained in even our daily practices. It's because of them. And they knew how to work hard. And it's definitely been great, because I never had to tell the best player on the field to have to work harder or to not be lazy. And so that's been really great for our program.
Yeah, we have two great players here today. Chloe Miller, known as, I guess, a 2-year starter at keeper. You know, Miller, the keeper role is so important for teams. What made you decide to play that position originally?
You know, it wasn't really a decision. It was kind of put on me, but I've always liked catching the ball more. I was always better at that hand-eye coordination than kicking it. So it was kind of put on me when I joined on my first year of like a club team, and they didn't have a keeper, and I was like, I guess I'll try it, and then it just progressed from there. Yeah, that's basically it.
So if you weren't a keeper, then what position would you play?
So I actually started out as a midfielder, and I was not very good at all, but moved on to keeper, and hopefully better than I was as a midfielder.
Well, now as a keeper, there's a lot of pressure on you. You're the last line of defense. Sometimes keepers don't get all the recognition, and sometimes they take the blame. Heck, you even wear a green jersey out there, and we don't like green very much over here at Cypress. So you got to be mentally strong. How do you stay mentally strong when a play doesn't go your way?
Yeah, that was probably one of the toughest things that I had to learn as a keeper, was just like mentally being strong. But it just like starts out, if it goes in, it happens. Everyone makes mistakes. It's just unlucky as a keeper that unfortunately it's going to go in the back of the net if you make one. So you just got to keep your head up and just keep working just like everyone else does. If you get beat, if it goes in, you just have to keep working, get it back. And you can't ever give up. It's easier said than done, but it's just something that you just have to keep doing and keep building your keep getting mentally strong.
Right. Sometimes it's a mistake, and sometimes you got to tip your hat to the other team because there's nothing anyone can do. But this year you're doing great. The team's playing great. You got 10 shutouts. Is there something you look for in the other team to clue you in as to where they might attack?
Usually I don't really look specifically, but I'll as the game goes on, I try to force the better strikers. I'll try and force them outside so they don't keep getting shots right down the middle. And our defenders, such as Aniyah, and then the other three that are there, they always are helping me. And I'm always talking to them, just making sure they're forcing everyone out wide, not letting them turn back into the middle. That's basically the only thing that I look for. The ones that are coming straight down the middle, those are the most dangerous for me. So just keeping them out wide.
Yeah, with so many shutouts, you've clearly had to make some great saves this year. Is there one that stands out that's been your best save of the year?
This year, if I'm going to be completely honest, our team has been very good at not allowing me to touch the ball. So one save, probably against LaSalle, that was probably the most action that I had, and it was probably I had to come out just a little bit, and she shot it far post. I stuck my foot out in like kind of was doing the splits, and then I saved it with my foot, and then it popped up, and then I got up, and Raya, our other defender, cleared it. That was probably one of my most like memorable or favorite saves that I've made so far.
Very cool. Yeah, our defense is obviously really strong. Aniyah, one of our defensive players. You're a 4-year varsity player who's been Empire League Defensive Player of the Year twice. If you could go back to your freshman self now after being on the team for 4 years, what advice would you give yourself today as a freshman?
Well, I do remember my freshman year that I was doing 2 sports, basketball as well. And, I was balancing that out. And that was also kind of stressful because, I got school and now I'm doing 2 sports. So that means after my soccer game, I will go to basketball as well. And if I could just look back at that, I don't regret it because that was a great opportunity for me to build and, prepare me for college because I'm going to balance a lot of stuff. But I do want to, if I were to tell myself, I would want to tell her that I should have spoke up more, like my leadership, especially that I did earn that starting spot that early. I should have, not only stood up for myself, but, like take control of the team because I knew what I was doing. I deserved that spot. So I should have just been more like, just helping my teammates out, seeing things, just not staying quiet because I know what's beneficial for some players, and mainly just communicating more and helping the team.
And now you mostly played defense for us, but last few games I see you starting up top at forward. You've scored 6 goals this season. You had a couple yesterday. How do you like getting into the offensive side of the ball?
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but I did start off after being keeper. I was forward for a really long time. So when Nicole does throw me up there, it's like nothing new to me. So I know how to handle business, I know what to expect. I know what to do on the ball. But it is different from, defending the goals and then scoring it. It's just a whole different ball game for me. But I do enjoy it sometimes, especially that I know, like, okay, my team needs me to do this. I'm going to handle that because that's what I'm here for. I need to be able to do whatever Nicole asked me to do and then just put the ball back in the net, which I do love doing. And I have been doing that lately.
Yeah, you're obviously a great athlete. Like you said, you played varsity basketball, I think it was, as a freshman, and soccer at the same time. You also run track. Do those experience, and as a captain, right, as well, do those experience help you in being such a great leader and a captain?
It does, yes. When I do multiple sports, I'm dealing with different types of people because obviously basketball is a whole just with your hands, different from soccer. Track is no balls involved, especially that track is like more people, more like other students that like who don't know anything about soccer, don't know anything about basketball. So it helps me learn how to talk to different people and how I can help them in different ways. And like similar to soccer now as a captain, since I do play forward, I do play defense as well. And, Nicole just put me midfield sometimes, when she wants to try some things new. But it helps me to either help them no matter what position they are, and just to like listen to them, because some of them just want to talk to me like, oh, Anna, what can I do better? And sometimes I don't know the right answer because I don't play midfield often, but I do know how to say the right thing so they can also get the motivation to work harder. And to answer your question, multiple sports does help a lot, actually.
Well, next year you're headed off to Michigan, one of the great schools in America. That's pretty awesome. And to play soccer. What goals do you have left for this year, and what goals have you set for your college career?
My goals for this year is that actually my dad and I made a bet if I could get 10 goals before the season ends. So far I'm at 6, so we have a couple more games. And so I think my goal is to still remain with 0 shutouts because we've been doing good so far. And then obviously the 10 goals. And then honestly, because some players I know they probably have like, get MVP or getting all these awards. But honestly, I just want my other seniors to have the best season before we all drift. There's 14 of us. So I need all of us to have the best fun more than anything. And then for college, since there's gonna be a lot of players, it's a whole different ball game. It's like a huge step from high school to college, especially at a D1 level. My goal I have is to at least get on the field, not even start, because that's like a huge step, especially as a freshman. And the other seniors are gonna, already there. But I do want to work hard to try at least get some minutes on the field so that I can progressively build into starting spot either my sophomore or junior year, but sooner than later.
All right, very cool. Well, at this point, we got some rapid fire questions for you guys. So we're going to roll through 8 questions. Don't overthink them. Miller, you answer first. Aniyah, you answer right after her so you guys don't talk over each other. Are you guys ready? I hope.
Yes, we're ready.
All right. First one. Can you both spell coach's last name?
Well, I don't know if this is cheating, but I can see it right now.
Could you spell it without cheating?
No.
Yes. No. Aniyah?
No, I just know it starts with a W and ends with, I have no idea, actually.
I do without cheating know the WOIEM. I know that because we had to put a Google form or something during COVID.
Yeah, it's part of her email, so that does help too. All right. Do you call it the pitch or the field?
The field.
The field.
Soccer balls with dots or without?
With?
Dots. With?
I don't know. Some balls don't. They don't have dots. They're I don't know. They have markings, but not the old school dots on them. All right. What's the best advice coach has ever given you? Don't overthink it.
Just got to keep going. If you mess up, keep going.
Leave it on the field is my favorite line. And then best advice she has ever told me.
What's the most important thing you've learned from soccer?
Just speaking more, like not being as shy as I once was before I played as keeper too also.
I learned that holding your composure, because it's really emotional, especially when there's people talking on the sidelines, other high schoolers, not to get riled up and just play my game.
Who's the sports icon that has influenced you the most?
Probably Alyssa Nair, the U.S. women's national team keeper right now.
For me, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which is a basketball player actually. It's weird, but my favorite basketball player.
What sport would you play if you didn't play soccer?
I'd probably go with basketball.
Basketball or run track.
Wouldn't be as good as Aniyah though.
Do you have any nicknames?
Miller, my last name.
No, just my name. I don't know nicknames.
All right. Well, thanks again to today's guests, Coach Nicole, Aniyah, Miller. You guys did a great job. We'll be back next week with more athlete and coach interviews. Don't forget to share this on social media. Support our athletes and coaches. Thanks again for watching. We'll see everybody next week. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.